welcome to our channel here at Financial Hub and the 9th episode of our Forex market breakdown. This week on the fundamentals we don't have much apart from Japan, where they're releasing their inflation rate and their balance of trade. On the other side in Canada, we are yet to see their inflation rate. Apart from that, on the US dollar, we observed the dollar index hit the 97.5 resistance mark, and ever since it's been dropping. The question is, are we heading lower or we're just having a retracement then we go back higher? We're yet to see that on our technical analysis.
So hi guys, we're down to the charts and we'll start off with Euro. And this is the weekly chart Euro. I'll first get off some of these things so that you guys will be able to see pivots out. Yeah, so that's it. The weekly chart, we're in a channel and the channel is not complete. If I use my Fibonacci tool, try and measure, we still have not made a new low at the 27.2 extension and ultimately the 61.8. So on the Euro I'm looking for 1.095, but on the way down I'm also looking for 1.1395. and if I go down to the daily chart, this is the daily chart, a lot of analysis over here. Let me get this one. Sun is out. And I can also move this one to be that way. So yeah, we have this channel that I was showing you on the weekly chart, the bigger picture, which is now the big channel. Then you have this small channel, a correction from the 1.1260 which we were calling for last week to the 1.1450, and again using the same tool that we use, we get that we are at the 78.6 retracement mark. So currently I'm short Euro. I'm actually in that position and I'm looking for a move to 1.1395, a 300 pip move, quite an ambitious trade, but on the way there I'm looking for other levels. So as you execute such a position, don't hold on like I will be doing, because you don't know when I'll be getting out. So as you execute, always incorporate this with your own analysis. So yeah, some good risk reward, 1:8 actually, and we can see we are currently going down, and I hope we will get to this level probably by the end of next week, because this week we have Thanksgiving and other fundamentals coming in to the market. For our chart, actually have some good analysis over here. This is the 4-hour chart. Compress this a little bit and you can see we're in this channel also. Some big moves coming over there using this same tool. And again, I can also plot this one, but I don't see any need for me to show you this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming back lower, significantly lower on the lower level. So this 5 will move from that point to this point. So I'm looking for a move downwards to that point, and if we can be able to get some supply to come in the market at that level, which you can also see is the 78.6. So yeah, 78.6 momentum coming back in, looking for 1.1395. Dollar index, as Caleb said on the introduction video, we slipped from the 98 mark, touching the 97.5 mark, which was also a touch of the channel and also a touch of this inner channel. You can see we had a sell-off, a quick sell-off for about 5 days, but we have been capped by this downward trend line, which is also part of the channel. And if you use your Fibonacci tool and try and measure, you get that we are capped by the 78.6. So 78.6, if we get some bullish momentum coming back in, also you can see we have not gone further away from the moving averages. So perhaps a slip below the moving averages before we get the real bull move to touch the 98.0 mark. So that's the dollar index. Next I'll do USD CAD. I won't do Euro Yen because it's highly correlated to the Euro and we get the same insight. So yeah, USD CAD weekly chart. 1 week chart, USD CAD. Yeah, this is the dollar Canadian weekly chart. Can first get these ones off. So This one will go to the days. No, I want it on weeks. And this one I don't want it on weeks. Weeks, move that one, and up we are down out the chart. So you can see that last week we had a shooting star almost formation on the 1.32 mark, which is a significant level on this pair, a major level. And you can see some supply came in pushing the prices lower, but already we are trying to go back up the beginning of this week. So if I go down to the daily chart and show you precisely what's going on this pair, last week we were calling for a short play from the 1.3270 mark. We touched the 1.3265, formed at tweezer tops, and we had these shorts coming into the market, pushing it lower to the 1.350. Yesterday we had the formation an inverted hammer above the moving averages, which is also the 50% retracement. And a lot of conferences are aligning for a bullish play to the 1.33 mark. As you can see, my extension is aligning up with the 1.33 mark. And if we get some momentum coming back in, which I expect to be coming back in, we'll get a move to the 1.33 mark. So there's also a setup on USD card which can be executed. And if I go down to the 4-hour charts, I'll show you precisely. So this is the 4-hour chart, a good channel. The pair has been sitting in this channel for quite some time now, and you can see already we have some consolidation band coming in at the 1.3150. I plotted this one wrongly, I'm sorry. Let me just correct it. This is the 3150, and I'll change this to be 3150. So yeah, 3150. As long as you're sitting above the 3150, I'll be looking for bullish plays, and as long as you're above the 78.6. So if we get a break of this, I wouldn't be shorting until we break past the 78.6, because that will also be a false breakout before the real bull move coming back into the market. So if you get I'm already long on this pair, but if we are going lower, I'll be holding to the 78.6, and that's why my stop loss is lower than that, and I'm looking for the 1.33 level. So 150 pips potential to the upside, and you can execute that as you wait for the pair to be moving into that direction. Gold, last week we were also short, then we turned to long, and now we are short again. So this is the daily chart, and we are waiting for 27.2 to be hit, 1270. But before we get to that level, there's another channel on the 4-hour chart which I think will bring in caution for those who are waiting for a bullish play. So as long as you're sitting below this channel and the 1230 mark, I don't expect gold to be going any higher. But if we break the channel and the 1230 mark and we have a good retest, then I can execute long plays. But if you look at the relation between gold and other pairs, I think we'll be going for a short play to the 1290 mark, especially if we are able to hit the 1230 mark, which will give us a very good potential entry point for us to go short, sending this commodity lower. So for gold, I don't have much. I'm only looking for those two currently. If we get to the 1230 mark, which is the 78.6, and you get a good short signal, then I'll be in. But as long as we are below the 1230 mark, I'm not looking for any long plays on gold. And if you're going lower, I'll be looking for 1210 as the first point and 1190 ultimately, before heading lower on this commodity. So that's gold, and I'll sum up by day by looking at GBP USD. So this is GBP USD. Last week we saw some momentum coming back into this pair, and on the group we already have an article because of the geopolitics of Brexit, and currently this pair is also really affected by geopolitics. So as you trade this pair, you should be very cautious of what is going on in Brexit. So anyway, we have an inside bar candle, and I can see the formation of a falling 3 methods. So we still expect some downward momentum to be coming in, especially after the break of this candle. We'll be heading lower. So a break of 1.270 would signify a move to 1.2450. But as long as you're sitting below, above the 1.27, I wouldn't be quick to short. So currently where we are, potential on 50 pips to the 1.27, because I expect we'll get to that level. And if I go down to the 4-hour chart, you can see that we are rejecting completely the 1.2850, and we're also sitting in this channel. If you're able to get a big move a big break above the 1.250, then we can expect some momentum to push it. But past this level and this channel, quite a task, and we can also use the Fibonacci tool to get the levels where we expect this pair to be headed before going lower or higher. So yeah, that's my GBP USD insight, and I hope that was helpful for you guys, and you can combine that with your own analysis and come up with how you're going to do your trades this week. So may the pips be with you, and Caleb is going to take over from there.
Hi traders, so this week on the Aussie dollar and EA analysis, we'll first start off with the Australian dollar. And basically on the Australian dollar, as we analyzed last week, we saw this beautiful spike to break to the upside on the Aussie dollar, and we retested that resistance level around here, and we had that quick sell off back to our retracement level, which acted as a good support level at 50%. And our our first analysis was a more drop, maybe back to down here, so that we can retest this trend line that was broken, but we didn't really have that direction, and the 50% acted as a good support region. And ever since that, we saw the market head back up higher and broke our resistance level at 0.7300, and we formed a new higher high on that on the pair. And if we go to our weekly time frame, what we can see now at the moment is that we're trading within an inside bar. And if you take a look at that, we're trading within this inside bar after having that break of that downward trend line. And if you take a look back at what has been going on during the year, as you see, we've respected this trend line and maintained below it for the past about 10 to 11 months. And during this month of November, we had that strong bullish break of the trend line, of the downward trend line, and we anticipated this, and now we're trading within this inside bar, and we might have a bit of consolidation, still trading within this inside bar. And ever since we had this bottom, we've seen the market regain about 25% of its value ever since it started dropping from 0.810, our monthly resistance level. So we are starting to enter that bullish territory. We might have that consolidation within this level before we have that break or touch of the 0.735, which is a weekly resistance level, and we might bounce off between these levels before we have that trend direction. Maybe also we might have a retest of the trend line once again, but most probably more likelihood is that we might have a bit of consolidation before we get that strong momentum. And now so that's basically what I have on the Aussie dollar. Maybe now if we go down to our EA, yeah guys, so this is EA daily time frame, and if we start with our weekly time frame, what we can see is that so this is a weekly time frame, and what you can see is that we had a beautiful downward trend line of 1 2 3 4 5 6 that's about 1 month and a half of downward momentum, no any retracement level. And after we broke, as you can see, we've retested our trend line that we broke around here, and maybe if I make it more clear, around there, so that we can touch the wicks. We had a retest of that. We also had a retest of our monthly support at 1.5550 level, and ever since we've been having that bullish momentum, which we called for last week. However, last week we didn't have that beautiful bullish momentum, but this week we've opened with a strong so far it's just 2 days and we've had that strong bullish momentum. And if we go down to a daily time frame, because we were targeting 1.575, we saw that we came within that region, not really spiked it. We're still waiting for that spike within the day, and more upside target is around 1.5870. But at the meantime, our target, as we saw last week, we analyzed on our
Financial Hub website, and also on the video that we were first targeting 1.5750. So that was beautifully. It's yet to be touched, but we're within that region. And before we get that continuation to the downside or that trend direction to either side, we're still waiting for that beautiful retracement to 1.5870 before we get any signs of shorting this market. So but still momentum is still strong to the downside, so projecting the pullbacks to far levels, we're not really anticipating that. So once we reach this level, if it's broken and the daily candlestick closes above this level, we're targeting around 1.5870. So that's basically what I have on EA and Aussie dollar. I'm sure you've seen the analysis on the Euro USD and gold that Ken has covered, and I hope you do your own analysis. Don't rely on our analysis. And apart from that, you've seen also the US. There might be less momentum this week as US have the Thanksgiving holiday the whole of this week, the main holiday being on Thursday. So you can watch out for that. It won't really affect the market that much, but just to keep in mind. But apart from that, I hope you enjoy the week. Trade beautifully, and may the pips be with you.